NFL tier list slash power rankings video for all the teams in the NFL. So I have my 5 tiers. So we have the Super Bowl contenders, teams that can make the playoffs, teams that barely miss the playoffs. Not the worst teams, but they still suck. So around like the 5 and 9 range, maybe, or the worst teams in the league. So starting off with the Tennessee Titans, I think they're Super Bowl contenders with Julio Jones, Ryan Tannehill, AJ Brown, and Derrick Henry. They're just really good. The only thing that is stopping them is their defense, which is not good. And Tannehill puts up as good as numbers as Mahomes. And the Dolphins, I think, I think they're gonna barely miss the playoffs. Tua, I don't think he's good, but I think under the system they have, he can be decent. Their defense, I think, will be one of the top in the league, and I think their offense is all right, but I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, and I don't think they're definitely not Super Bowl contenders. And the Cleveland Browns, I think they're gonna make the playoffs. They're not Super Bowl contenders, and they're good enough to where they can make the playoffs. I think they're going to be the best team in the AFC North this year. The Steelers are going to fall off. The Ravens, I think, are either going to get second or third. The Bengals are either going to get second or third. It's honestly whichever team can beat the Steelers is going to get second or third. The Browns have a great defense. Baker is all right. He is a serviceable quarterback. And Nick Chubb is honestly one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're not going to be the worst, but they're still going to be bad. I honestly don't think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be the next big thing. He is a rookie, and he's coming in with the Jaguars. Their coach is Urban Meyer, and usually coaches in the NFL suck. So I really think they're not going to be as good. The Lions, they're gonna be one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, what's new? I can't name 3 other wide receivers. They have Jared Goff, and they drafted Sewell. But honestly, that's the best thing. That he's probably one of the best guys on their team, and he's a rookie. The Minnesota Vikings. This is a tough one. I think they can make the playoffs. Cousins is not a bad quarterback. The receivers with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen are not bad. Their defense can be one of the top in the league. And I really think that they can make the playoffs. They can get second in that division because Chicago's not going to be good. But Green Bay is probably going to be amazing since Rodgers is coming back. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Super Bowl contenders. It took Brady around week 13 to figure out the groove with his new team. And they still won the Super Bowl. And with the same team, and he knows the system, they're going to be amazing. They're probably going to win the Super Bowl again. As much as I hate to admit it, they probably will. San Francisco 49ers, they're not going to be the worst, but they're still going to be bad. Their defense, I think, will be fine, but they're not going to have another Super Bowl year like they did in 2019. It's just not going to happen. The Atlanta Falcons, I think they're going to barely miss the playoffs. I think that Matt Ryan is gonna be good. I think that Pitts is gonna win Rookie of the Year. Ridley's gonna have a breakout season. Mike Davis is gonna be really good. Their defense is the one thing I'm worried about because it's one of the worst in the league. And since it's a new system, it might take time to get used to it. The Baltimore Ravens. Honestly, I think they're gonna barely miss the playoffs. Their offensive plan is just it's predictable. Lamar, in my opinion, is overrated. All he can do is run the ball. And if they play a team who has a good running defense, they're gonna get shut down and lose. Look what they did against the Bills. They were awful. The Bills swept the floor with them, and Lamar couldn't do anything. Next up, we got the Bears. I think of the Chicago Bears, I think they barely missed the playoffs because they have a rookie QB. Their defense is all right. They do have one of the best receivers with Allen Robinson. I think David Montgomery is going to be amazing. But other than that, they're not that good. And if Fields turns out to be a bust, they have Andy Dalton, he's all right. And Bears fans got to stop acting like Justin Fields is the second coming of Jesus Christ himself. He isn't. He's all right. The Cincinnati Bengals, I think they can make the playoffs. Burrow will be good. Their receiving core with Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase is going to be the best in the league. And I think they have one of the best safeties in the league with Jesse Bates. I think they can edge out the Ravens and make in second place in the AFC North. The Dallas Cowboys they'll barely miss the playoffs because Dak is good, but that's probably that and CD Lamb. There's probably the best two offensive players they have. Zeke, he's fallen off. He's not doing that well. Cooper, he's still doing all right, but I think CD Lamb is probably going to replace him as number one receiver. Their defense is not good, and but they'll probably be one of the best teams in their division because their division's not that good. Next, we have the Houston Texans. They're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. I don't know what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson. From what I heard, he's probably going to get traded. Um, then their starting quarterback is going to be Tyrod Taylor if they do trade him, and that's not good. It's not that good. Their defense isn't that good. Then they're not going to be good. They'll suck. The Indianapolis Colts. Now I don't know what's happening with Carson Wentz. I don't know if he's going to play this season, if he's going to miss a couple of games. But assuming he plays the season and he's full health, they're going to make the playoffs. Because I think that Carson Wentz with Frank Reich is going to be great. The Colts are always pretty good. If they have a good quarterback, they're going to be good. They made the playoffs with Philip Rivers, who I think is a Hall of Fame quarterback. And they can probably do the same with Carson Wentz under Frank Reich. The LA Rams, I don't I kind of want to put them in Super Bowl contenders, but it's probably too early to judge. Screw it. Super Bowl contenders. I think Jared Goff is out of there. Jared Goff wasn't that bad, but having Matt Stafford is an amazing upgrade. Their defense is arguably the best defense in the league, and their offense is still good. The only bad part about their offense is they don't have Cam Akers. They'll have to get a new running back, or they're just going to stick with Henderson. Next up, the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I don't know. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to barely miss. Herbert is still going to be fantastic. Their offense is still good. Their defense with Derwin James is probably going to be one of the best. I just think there's other teams that can edge them out and be better than them. And one of those teams is the Kansas City Chiefs, who will probably make the Super Bowl. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, they have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, one of the best receivers in the league in Tyreek Hill, one of the best tight ends in the league with Travis Kelce, and a very good young running back in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Their defense is it's nothing spectacular, but it's still pretty good as long as their O-line can protect Mahomes and not make him run around like in the Super Bowl, then I think they'll be good. The Saints. I don't they're not going to be good. They are going to be severely, severely worse than they were with Drew Brees because Jameis Winston is not as good as Drew Brees. He's probably going to throw 8 picks a game with 8 touchdowns a game because that's what Jameis Winston does. They'll still be good, but they're not gonna make the playoffs with Jameis Winston. They they don't have Michael Thomas for the start of the season. Their only big star is Alvin Kamara, who's probably just gonna carry that team. The Giants, not the worst. They're still gonna be bad. Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback. He just isn't. Saquon, if he can stay healthy, he will probably be what makes the team good. Kenny Galladay is he's good, but if he can stay healthy, he'll probably be carrying the team. Their defense is very underrated. I think they have one of the best defenses in the league, but you also have to have a good quarterback to win games, and I don't think that Daniel Jones is that quarterback. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles probably going to be one of the worst teams in the league. Now, I know that I heard rumors that they're probably going to try to trade for Deshaun Watson, or they're either going to keep Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts can be really good. I think he will be really good, but I still think they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league because the team around them is just not good. Miles Sanders is alright. I can't name a single receiver on that team. For that matter, I can't even name a single tight end on their team because I don't know who they are. Isn't it Dallas Goddard or something? They're just not going to be that good. Their defense is alright. It's just not going to be. They're not going to be good. They're going to be one of the worst. The Steelers, they're going to. I'll probably be wrong by saying this, but they're probably going to miss the playoffs and be the last in the AFC North. Big Ben is not good anymore. He just isn't. Their receivers just make TikToks. That's it. Um, their defense is probably still going to be the best in the league, but that's probably going to be all they have going for them. The Denver Broncos, probably one of the worst teams in the league. They need a quarterback. They haven't had a good quarterback since Peyton Manning, and Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater probably won't make this team good. The team around them is good. Jerry Jeudy, Melvin Gordon, they're good. Their defense is good too, but it's the quarterback that's really just not good. The Packers. Now I want to put them in Super Bowl contenders, but they'll probably just lose in the NFC Championship. So they're probably not going to make the Super Bowl. So I'm just going to put make playoffs. Aaron Rodgers is returning. Devontae Adams is returning. Everyone's staying. Rodgers will probably do good. He always does. Adams is arguably the best receiver in the league. Aaron Jones is fantastic. Their defense is good. I just don't think they can make the extra push and make the Super Bowl. The Panthers, they're not they're not going to be good, but they're not going to be bad. I think they'll barely miss the playoffs actually. Sam Darnold will have an amazing season under Ron not Ron Rivera. Who's their coach? I don't know who their coach is. They have Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, who's one of the most underrated receivers in the league. I don't know who their tight end is. And their defense is serviceable. I can't really name someone who's good on it. I think they're going to barely miss the playoffs. Again, they're in that tough division with Tampa Bay. I think second place is either going to go to Atlanta or Carolina. I just can't decide which one. Now, the Raiders, and this is my hot take on the Raiders. Voice crack, sorry. My hot take on the Raiders. They're going to make the playoffs. Derek Carr is not bad. He is a good quarterback. But people just don't see it. I don't know why that people wanted him to leave Las Vegas for a while. He's not bad. Their team isn't bad. They're always on the verge of making a playoff run, but then just losing and just not making the playoffs. This year I think will be different. I think they'll make that extra push and make the playoffs. Josh Jacobs is good. Their defense is alright. Derek Carr is good. Henry Ruggs I think will be good in his second year. And yeah, that's I have a feeling they're gonna make the playoffs. Be the second in their division. The Washington football team make the playoffs. They're gonna win their division. Best defense in the league, in my opinion. They're gonna have one of the best offenses in the league. Ryan Fitzpatrick is gonna carry that team. Ron Rivera is a great coach. They're gonna make the playoffs, and they're gonna be the best team in that division. Easy. The Arizona Cardinals. I think that they're probably going to barely miss the playoffs again. Just, they're not going to. They're probably going to lose their last 3 games to make them lose their playoff seeding. Because, I don't know what it is, but they always do that. Kyler Murray, I think he can be good, but he's just not. He just isn't that good as he can be right now. D Hop is amazing, but he might not play because he's not vaccinated. Um, their defense is all right, in my opinion, but like Chandler Jones and who's the other guy? Jordan Hicks. They're wanting to get out of there. I think they're gonna barely miss the playoffs. Kingsbury, if they don't make it, he's gonna be on the hot seat. So I think an easy third in their division. The Buffalo Bills, Super Bowl contenders. You've seen the first video. Josh Allen is the next big thing. He is the next GOAT. I love Josh Allen. He is amazing. He's a great quarterback. He has a big arm, and he looks good in shorts. What else do you need from him? What else do you need from a quarterback? Their team is good. Their wide receivers are good. Their running backs are decent. They got Zach Moss. I like Zach Moss. Their defense is great, in my opinion. I don't know what's up with Cole Beasley. I'm not gonna get into that. That's just a whole thing. And yeah, I think they're gonna make the Super Bowl this year. Seattle Seahawks. I think they're gonna make the playoffs, but they'll just lose in the wild card. It's gonna be the same thing it was last season. Russell Wilson will have this big MVP push and just fall off after week 5 because that seems to be what always happens. I don't know why it always happens. It just does. Their defense is alright. They got Blitz Boy Jamal Adams, who's just he's alright. He can't cover for nothing. It was a waste of a first round pick, in my opinion, for the Seahawks to trade for him. Their receivers are good. DK Metcalf is way overrated. Don't get me wrong, he's still good, but every time I see someone say he's the best receiver in the league, he just um they're not going to be good. Zach Wilson, in my opinion, is probably going to be a bust. I don't know why they got rid of Sam Darnold. He played under one of the worst coaches in the league and did bad. The whole team did. The same thing happened to Ryan Tannehill on the Dolphins. He left, and now he's under a good coach in Mike Vrabel, and he was one of the best quarterbacks statistically in the league. They're still not going to be good. I don't know what Saleh can do, but I don't think he can bring them to the playoffs. Finally, the New England Patriots, just no. They've fallen off. They have made a lot of moves in free agency. They did draft Mac Jones, who Alabama quarterbacks aren't good in the NFL because the team around them is always good no matter what. They always have good running backs, good receivers, and good defense and a good offensive line. The quarterback is never good. Mac Jones is good because he was throwing to Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle. Look at Tua. He's not that good. But he was throwing to Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs. He went to Alabama, right? Yeah, he did. Mac Jones is going to be good. Cam Newton can barely throw it 10 feet. Their offense is good, but again, if Mac Jones or Cam Newton is good, then I don't think that. Oh, I'm sorry, is not good. If Mac Jones or Cam Newton isn't good, then I don't think that's gonna matter. Their defense isn't that good, but they do have one of the best coaches of all time. And yeah, this is my power rankings slash tier list of NFL teams. If you agree, uh, drop a like and subscribe. If you disagree, tell me in the comments. Uh, have and yeah, this is the end of the video. Have a wonderful day.